most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in, race fans. Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corners Sim Racing Series. BnH Builder Street Stocks On tap for you first tonight, Lima Land Speedway Park. Quick little quarter-mile bull ring, high banks, a lot of speed. These guys are going to be getting around here pretty quickly in these street stocks. 26 drivers checked in. Do not see the man third in points here tonight. I believe he's on vacation riding his motorcycle somewhere around Florida. Hope he's having a good time. But right now, Cole Duggar, your points leader. 1 point ahead of Andy Gross and the aforementioned Reed Rundle in third. Ryan Fisher fourth and Bud Ridner in fifth. First and second separated by a single point. And third, fourth, and fifth separated by a mere 5 points. So a couple races into the season, and the points are very tight right now. Bonus points matter each and every night for these guys. We got about 3 minutes of practice left. Watching the drivers make laps around the track. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Say hi in the chat. Yes, I put that back up where I can visualize it. Oh, Scott King. EJ. Hey to Joey and hey to Jonathan. Let us know where you're watching from. Who you're watching for this evening. All right, now David Kinjerski, quickest out here in practice. 15.352. We'll see what he can do in his qualifying attempt coming up here in a couple of minutes. Couple of shows going on for you tonight here, Hales Corners. They'll have the Pro Late Models here at Lima Land once we finish up with the street stocks. Tomorrow night, Dominic Santina, 8 o'clock Eastern, will be live with the Dirt Slingers Racing League Monday Night Thunder 360 Wing Sprint Car Series. Round 16 of 18 for those guys. They are at Weedsport tomorrow night. And then immediately following them, we will have the Tim's Dirt Track Simulators General Tires Winter Nationals round number 6 in that series from Eldora. Big Block Modifieds. This guy's racing for a lot of prizes and some cash in the mix as well. Don't forget to tune in for both of those. Tuesday night PRO series, 9 o'clock, 9:30 Eastern, I believe it is, 9:20. I think we go live with them. This week should be Big Block Modifieds, but I am not sure the track is. I cannot find my schedule land here, so. Here's that. It is time for us to go down trackside and get ready for our invocation and our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
big thank you to Sam and Johnny Foley once again. Drivers already on track for qualifying right now. Andy Gross just got bumped off the top of the pylon by Nick Sobiek, 15.394 seconds. Gross at 15.433 seconds. Then Konjerski is third, 15.450. Cole Duggar, your points leader, jumps to the top, 15.283 seconds, moving Sobiek and Gross down to a second and the third. Then Konjerski and Fisher, your top 5 in qualifying currently. Plenty of time left. Cars on track. Let's see if we can get a look here. This is the one machine of J.J. Schilling, 8th quickest on his first lap. How will he do on his second? Will he improve or drop down? Oh, just a tick off of his first one. About 6/100ths of a second, so he will stay 9th. All right, now Ichkowski should be on track. He should be coming out of turn 2 right there. 16.159 on his first lap. We'll see if Tony can improve that here. Big, wide exit line. I don't think this is going to get it done. Slower on second lap. So keep him 23rd. Keegan Busch, the only car to have not taken time yet. Still Duggar, Sobiek, and Gross as pretty much all the cars finished. I think we're going to stay that way. Those will be your pole sitters for our heat races. They will actually get an invert, so they will all start outside of row number 2 tonight. Watching Briar Zimmerman right now make a few extra laps here in the 0 car. Yeah, Scott, I don't know. I'm going to try to make it for that first race. We'll see if I can take some more abuse. Zimmerman going to put the car in park right there. About 30 seconds, and we will advance to heat race number 1 for the evening. Appreciate everybody tuning in again, guys. Thank you very much for being here. BnH Builders Street Stocks with the Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series. We will follow this up with about the same drivers for the most part. They will jump over and get into the Pro Late Models right here at the same track as soon as they finish the show with the Street Stocks. Your DiscountShopTowels.com Pro Late Model Series. All right. Heat race number 1, gridding out on the front stretch. Pace truck rolling into place. Our Scarlet Car Wash starting lineup for heat race number 1. The 21 car of Corey Funk on the pole, and on his outside, Tony Brent in the number 28. Your second row on the inside, James Fletcher, the 75, and on his outside, your points leader into the series. A quick qualifier for the evening, the 11 car of Cole Duggar. Third row inside, Brandon Hull in the 99, on the outside, Skylar Woods in the 32. And your fourth row on the inside, the GB Restoration Repair, number 77 from East Troy, Wisconsin, Gary Budzine. And on his outside, in the 117, will be Jim Butcher. And your back row, by himself, Dean Wellick in the 126. About one more pace lap. And you can see, even under pace, these guys get around here pretty quickly. It will not take long to get these in the books. Top 5 drivers go straight to your feature. Everybody else will have to work out of the consolation race, and we'll find 5 from there. No, actually, I think we find 7 from the consolation race, and we take 22 to our feature now. Season 1 was 20. All right, pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. Heat race number 1 underway. Fan out. 2 and 3 wide out of turn number 2. No one with a clear advantage right now. Maybe Corey Funk's going to have the lead here, but the 75 on the bottom. That's Fletcher. Then Brent and Duggar stacked up with him. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 for the second time. Now Fletcher trying to grab the lead. Fletcher had it at the line. Funk battling back on the top side. Here comes Duggar in on the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide again going into turn number 3. Brent stuck his nose in the middle and couldn't keep it there. But Fletcher, Funk, and Duggar, 1, 2, 3. Then Brent and Brandon Hull. That 99 car running in the 5th spot. Gary Budzine, Skylar Woods, Jim Butcher, and Dean Wellick in behind that. Duggar now around Corey Funk into the second position. He's going to make a bid quickly here to try to get the nose on the inside of Fletcher, but Fletcher just about in the perfect line, getting around 3 and 4, and he extends his lead a couple of car lengths. We're down under 3 to go. Ooh, a little hot getting in there for Duggar, and he checked the car up and kept it out of Fletcher. But with 2 to go, the lead extended a couple of more car lengths. Now it's about 4 total. Still Fletcher, Duggar, Funk, Brent, and Hull as we're coming to the white flag in heat race number 1. This is all Fletcher's race to lose right here if he can just keep the car on the momentum line and keep it going forward into 3 and 4. He should, and he will, pick up the win in heat race number 1. Cole Duggar, Corey Funk, Brandon Hull, and Tony Brent will be the 5 cars transferring directly to our feature. Budzine, Woods, Butcher, and Wellick will be in our B main. Hello, Tim. All right, heat 2, gritting out on the front stretch. Your Scribberdub Car Wash starting lineup looks like this. On the pole, the Shark RC Car Bodies, number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Chris Johnson. And on his outside, Briar Zimmerman in the 0 car. Second row on the inside, the Skis Graphics, number 15 of David Kinjerski. And on the outside of him, the RLV Faster Motors VLR, number 23 out of Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiek. Third row, inside, the Scribberdub Car Wash, Black Flag Racing, number 74 from Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Brees. And the 35 of Zach Krieger will be on his outside. Your fourth row, on the inside, the 11 car. It's a Sorens Ford machine from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Ricky Johnson. And on his outside, the Black Flag Racing, number 10 out of West Allis, Wisconsin, Tony Itzkowski. Keegan Bush did not make the call, so we will not see the 27 car on the back row. 8 cars for 5 spots again in heat race number 2. Make sure you get all the pod numbers and the names to Mr. King, and we'll get that all adjusted before tomorrow night so that we can have the guys in the right names in there. All right, pace truck is in. Green flag is over the speedway, and heat race number 2 is underway. Heat race 1, the outside line had the advantage. Not this time. Chris Johnson pushes the 112 car up the hill and slows down Briar Zimmerman, but David Kinjerski now. 15 car working around the inside, trying to take second away, wants to immediately go for that lead. Chris Johnson, 3 wide on the top. Zimmerman in the middle, Kinjerski on the bottom, heading into turn 3, 4. Your lead to contact between the 15 and the 0. And that's going to open the door for Sobiek on the bottom in the 23 car. He went way down in the basement. He's got him 3 wide off 2 for second and third right here. Johnson's starting to give himself some breathing room. Zimmerman's running right through the middle of the track. He takes over second, puts Sobiek into third. Then Kinjerski and Brees, 4th and 5th. Oh, contact. We're going to keep our eyes right there. That's going to straighten them up. But Sobiek going to lose a lot of spaces right there. He lost about 3 positions. There's Krieger coming across the nose of Brees, and he goes headlong into the fence. I think he'll get the car spun around and keep going right now. Chris Johnson holding on to about 2 car lengths. Coming to 3 to go over Breyer, Johnson, Kinjerski third, Brees is fourth, and Sobiak kept the 23 car facing the right way with a little bit of minor cosmetic damage to the front of that car. He is hanging on to the transfer spot. Johnson, Ichkowski, and Krieger. Krieger got the nose all mashed up nice and flat. Got a good snow plow working there. We are down to 2 to go in heat race number 2, and Johnson, gap closing, his lead shrinking. Here comes Zimmerman. Couldn't get there this time. White flag in the air. Chris Johnson trying to hang on, win the second heat race. Can Zimmerman make a charge down the backstretch? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Your heat race number 2 winner, Chris Johnson, then Breyer, Zimmerman, David Kinjerski, Peter Brees, and Nick Sobiak will be our transfer cars to the AMA. Johnson, as in Ricky Johnson, Tony Ichkowski, and Zach Krieger will be in the B. Well, we'll get our final heat race lined up on the front stretch here. And our script of car wash. Starting lineup looks like this. Buddy's Racing Equipment, I-41 Raceway, number 17 from Slinger, Wisconsin, Dean Burnt on the pole. And on his outside, J.J. Schilling in the 1 car. Your second row on the inside, the Pincala Auto Solutions, number 41 from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, of Ryan Fisher. And to his outside, the Shark RC Bodies. Gross Racing, number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Andy Gross, last season's defending champion. Third row, an all Brunner affair on the inside. The CJR Pride of Tosa, number 64 from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, Randy Brunner on the outside. John Brunner in the 46. And your back row, the 66 of Jason Enoch and the 5 car of Colin Skinzalewski. I ain't got to jump nobody about nothing. Life is good. All right, pace truck headed in. Heat race number 3. Final heat race for the street stocks about to get underway. Green flag in the air. Dean Burnt, J.J. Schilling, and Schilling got a fantastic start off the top side. He looks to have the lead coming out of turn number 2, and he will. They're 3 wide behind him for just a second. Gross and Burnt, and Gross now going to drive the car deep into turn 3. Showed the nose to Schilling on lap 1. Let him know, hey, I'm already here. Goes to the bottom side now. Side by side as Schilling clips the fence out of 2. That's going to open it up for Gross to use the slider line. Andy Gross has got the lead at the end of lap 2, but Schilling, all right, back on top of him. Slider line for the 1 car. He shuts the door hard on the exit of 2, takes the lead. Here comes Gross again. He's not going to have that. Drives it deep. Schilling cuts underneath. These two already locked in a tight slider battle. Dean Burnt in 3rd. Ryan Fisher and Randy Brunner in that 5th and final transfer spot. The battle at the front. Staying pretty close here. And that's keeping the top 5 really tight on this one. Jason Enoch in 6th. Very close to these guys right back here. And then Skinzalewski and John Brunner. But we want to watch this battle at the front because Gross still trying to use the slider line. He just isn't getting it in there right. Now he's going to go top shelf. Schilling went low on the entrance, high on the exit in 1 and 2. That opened up the gap just a little bit. Good move by Schilling there. Perfectly timed as Gross used a high line. Closes it in 3 and 4. Got it back down to about 2 car lengths. 2 to go that time around. Top 2 starting to break away from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's still Burnt, Fletcher, and Brunner in that order, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But where to the white flag in Heat 3? And it is all J.J. Schilling right now. About a car and a half, 2 cars as they come out of 2. He just needs to keep it in front of Gross. Gross clips the tires on the way in. Oh, Burnt. Completely out of shape. Almost T-boned everybody, but Schilling, Gross, Fletcher, Brunner, and now Jason Enoch. I want to go back and see what happened to Burnt here. came out of 2, across. Oh, he got into Brunner. Brunner sent him through the infield, and maybe the throttle stuck because Burnt just never slowed the car down. So heat racing has ended. We will move on to the B main. We're going to need 7 cars from this 11-car B main. And our B will line up with Colin Skinzalewski on the pole with Tony Itzkowski to his outside. Then Skylar Woods and John Brunner in row 2. Ricky Johnson and Gary Budzine in row 3. Jim Butcher and Zach Krieger in row 4. Row 5, Dean Burnt and Dean Wallach. And Keegan Bush scheduled to line up on the back row right now. Do not see the 32 of Skylar Woods nor the 27 of Keegan Bush. So there's Skylar Woods' car. Pops on to the grid. Right as I say, he's not out there. So 10 cars racing for 7 spots. 10 laps to decide who will fill in the feature tonight. Look at some of these guys as they are coming around. Ricky Johnson, that is Jim Butcher's car. Zach Krieger there. In 35. Zach gonna probably be joining me in the booth for race number 2, the Pro Late Models. We're getting everybody lined up, getting ready to go. Green
flag, green flag.
Wow, this field was super strung out right here. Almost a single foul start for our B main. Skinzalewski in the 5 car, running on the top side, trying to hang on to the lead out of turn 4 for lap number 1. He will do that. Tony Itzkowski back here in 5th. Skylar Woods was 2nd. Then Ricky Johnson, Jim Butcher. And then we're back to Itzkowski back here. And Itzkowski a little out of shape there as he's closing in on some of these guys in front of him. Runner, Bugsy, Krieger, Wallach, and Dean Burnt. I'm not exactly sure what did. Oh, Skinzalewski out of shape. He's going to put the car into the outside fence. Now he has collected Butcher up the hill into the 126 of Wallach. That car not going anywhere quick now. Skylar Woods takes over the lead. Ricky Johnson, Tony Itzkowski, Gary Budzine, Zach Krieger, John Brunner, and Dean Wallach currently in the top 7 spots. Dean Burnt. Looks like some right front damage on the 17 car. He may have got a piece of that mess back there. But these guys already halfway in the B main. Really ripping this thing down to the bone quickly. Oh, finding the fence, Skylar Woods. That's going to let Ricky Johnson close up here. 4 to go this time. Itzkowski still 3rd. Budzine is 4th. Big gap back to 5th. That's Krieger. Then John Brunner in the 46 and Dean Wallach in the 126. And Wallach, a little bit of left front damage on that car, but he is closing in on that 46 machine. Going to make it a battle for the last 2 transfer spots. We'll go back to the front. Coming to the 2 to go signal. Skylar Woods still hanging on to the lead, but it's getting closer. Johnson trying to work around the inside right here, and he's going to pull alongside out of 2. Getting into 3, about half a car advantage. Oh, Johnson got way out of shape right there coming to the white flag, so it is all Skylar Woods' race now. He's going to be in pretty good position to transfer straight through to the feature from the B main as he is going to pick up the victory here. Ricky Johnson 2nd, Tony Itzkowski 3rd, Gary Budzine, Zach Krieger, John Brunner, Dean Wallach, and that's your 7. Dean Burnt, Jim Butcher, Colin Skinzalewski, and Keegan Bush look to have been eliminated from the evening. So our field is set, and we get ready to move on to our 20-lap A main. With Brandon Hull and Ryan Fisher on your front row. Then Kinjerski and Funk in row 2. Row 3, Andy Gross and Briar Zimmerman. Cole Duggar and J.J. Schilling in row 4. Row 5, Chris Johnson and James Fletcher. The 6th row, Peter Brees and Randy Brunner. Tony Brent and Nick Sobiak in row 7. Row 8, Jason Enoch and Skylar Woods. Ricky Johnson and Tony Ichkowski in row 9. Gary Budzine and Jack Krieger in row 10. And your final row, John Brunner and Dean Wellick. So who's it going to be tonight? Kinjerski, Gross. Can Cole Duggar bring the 011 machine from inside row number 4 and get the win? Can J.J. Schilling pick up a win starting outside of row number 4? Chris Johnson on the inside of the 5th row. A lot of drivers with a lot of opportunities here, especially on a tight track. Things happen quickly, and if anything happens, it's usually going to involve multiple cars. So our A main for the BnH Builders Street Stock Series, the Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series, about to go green right here out of turn number 4. Green flag in the air. We are racing A main time. And Brandon Hull going to take the 99 right down to the bottom. He's got the lead coming out of 2. 41 car of Fisher with a good run off the top side. Had second for just a moment. Then Kinjerski took the 15 to the middle. That may make him 3 wide. Almost made him 3 wide with Andy Gross now trying to work on the bottom. Hull led lap 1. Fisher was second. Kinjerski was third. Watching Briar Zimmerman right behind Andy Gross in that green and white 0 car. He's trying to make some things happen. Went from the top side to the bottom in half a lap. 3 wide, almost 4 wide down the backstretch right there as Duggar put the 11 car right on the inside. They're 3 wide in front of these two. Kinjerski on the bottom. Gross is in the middle. Corey Funk around the top. J.J. Schilling now is the guy on the outside of that 3 wide stack. Gross out of shape, gives up 2, 3, make it 4 spots right now. Andy Gross all the way back to 8th was running 4th before the mistake in turns 3 and 4. Still Hull out in front. Fisher running 2nd. We're watching 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th right here. Great battle. Right now, J.J. Schilling up to 3rd. Corey Funk on the inside, and then Zimmerman on the top side there of that 2 wide. Behind that 2 wide with Kinjerski and Gross. Cole Duggar trying to make that a 3 wide situation. A lot of paint trading going on right there through 1 and 2. Starting to get them lined out single file now. Duggar, the only car still on the inside the top 10. Funk put it in the outside wall. That's going to open things up. That's going to move Gross to 5th. Duggar to 6th. Kinjerski got caught up behind that. Had to get out of the way. He falls to 6th. Then Funk. Fletcher. Good battles here right at the front now. Brandon Hull has led every one of the 9 laps, and he is holding a slim lead over Ryan Fisher. Schilling and Zimmerman, nose to tail, 3rd and 4th, and then Andy Gross now trying to reel them in. He's back in 5th. Just past halfway. Check on your leader real quick here. We'll see how far they are from getting into lap traffic. You can see same straightaway now, going into 1. Zach Krieger, Brandon Hull, already reeling him in. So a single file line, cars all the way around the speedway now, car out of shape. That was Krieger again. 12 down, 8 to go. Check on Andy Gross. Still in 5th. Not making up a lot of space, but Cole Duggar has closed in on him a little bit. You see Zimmerman giving chase to Schilling. That is 3rd and 4th. And then Ryan Fisher and Brandon Hull still out in front. They're about to get into some lap traffic here. Coming down to 6 to go. Zach Krieger right in front of your leaders now. He's going to stay on the inside. Leaders going top shelf. Oh, car. Ow. Bunch of cars out of shape. It's Kowski in this. He's going to keep it pinned to the fence. Everybody going to be able to skate by. We will go by and see what happened here. It was he and Wallach. They got it right here. Ichkowski to the top, cuts. Now Wallach's out of shape. Ichkowski tried to go under, and Wallach too far out of shape. That was right in front of your leaders. You saw the two leaders barely escape right there. This is going to change things up a little bit. Now we're going to have a restart with 5 to go. And that is going to make this interesting with how close some of these guys are going to be now to your front 2 cars, because they were pretty safe running 1 and 2. It was down to those 2 to battle it out the last 5 laps in lap traffic. Now you're going to bring Schilling, Zimmerman, Gross, Duggar, all right back into the mix. See the 11 car, Ricky Johnson, the 35 car, maybe Zach Krieger, already in the pits.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. I see the 14 car was way down low. And the caution flew one more time. I think we had some cars maybe not where they were supposed to be, and race control decided that they should toss that again, extend this caution a lap or 2 here. So they'll get them lined back up single file.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So we'll extend this caution 1 more lap. Only 5 laps to go. All right, pace truck off this time.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Andy Gross went to the bottom, big slide job. I don't think that's going to gain him anything right here yet. Now Zimmerman finds the fence in 3 and 4. That may give Gross a spot. It is still Hull, then Fisher, then Schilling. 1, 2, 3. Now the battle starting to heat up for 4th. Zimmerman, the 0 car, trying to keep his momentum up. He's got company behind him. Cole Duggar trying to work the top side. He's going to try to put Gross down another spot. Big mistakes up front. Sliders were attempted and nothing came of it. Tony Ichkowski out of shape back here. Let's go see what happened to Itch. Oh, he gets clipped. Got clipped there by the 126 car of Dean Wallach. And that's what the leader's coming, so they got to check that down, get everybody squared away. Green, white checker for our restart. I believe the lights are off on the pace track. I think we're going green this time. Be a green, white checker start.
Green, green, green.
Green flag, caution once again. Admin's trying to get this straightened up. Gonna keep it at a green-white checker finish. Still Hull, Fisher, Schilling, Zimmerman, Gross, Duggar, Fletcher, Funk, Kinjerski, and Randy Brunner. Your top 10. As I believe the lights are off on the pace truck, and we are going to try this one more time. Hull keeping them down, waited for the green. Now on the throttle. Nose to tail, there goes Fisher. Gonna peek to the inside, 1 and 2, slide job. Crossover easily completed there by Hull, but he keeps it side by side. Now Hull gonna have to use the slider line here in 3 and 4 to get to the white flag. They're gonna be 3 wide coming out of turn 4, coming to that white flag with Schilling on the bottom. Fisher in the middle. Oh, they got the door shut. Here comes Gross with a late race move. Now Schilling closes down on the inside. JJ Schilling to the point, gets turned around off the exit. That is going to shake everything up. I don't know. I think Fisher wins it. Zimmerman was second. Gross going to come home in third. And we go back and take a look. Down here in 3 and 4, you're going to watch Schilling goes in, bumps that tire, and then he gets the car out of shape. He got a little bit of help, but I think that was mostly because Schilling got the car out of shape. So we will get ready to talk to our top 3. Wait for these guys to all kind of clear out of the way there. Get our top 3 up here into position to chat. I don't see our second place driver, Briar Zimmerman. I do see Ryan Fisher, though, and Andy Gross. So let's move along, talk to our third place driver. Andy Gross, are you there?
I got you, Roger.
Well, interesting finish to that one. You are going to pick up a podium spot, man. What was going on that last lap?
Well, it's probably the craziest finish we've had in a while, but everybody was jacking for position. I feel bad for getting the back at JJ, but I think that he was almost going around. Even if I wanted to touch him, I had nowhere to go. So I just want to apologize to JJ for that.
Yeah, it looked like he got the car a little further sideways, I think, than he intended to. I think he was really trying to keep the bottom closed and not let you put the nose up in there, and it really broke his momentum. But kind of an interesting race. You were kind of forward, backwards, and then at the end, a good charge forward. How tough was it to find any place to pass anybody out there?
Yeah, really, the only grip was up on the lip, and with 6 to go and we got them cautions, I just knew that it's go time. So just layer in there heavy, drift her up in the corner. There's a little bite right like a lane and a half from the top, and catch it with the right rear and get a little drive off. But just hoping that you're clear of somebody being there.
Well, a great run, another podium finish for you. Who's on the car helping you out before we let you get ready for the late models?
Yeah, I gotta thank Brian and Heather Hamer from BnH Builders. I gotta thank Nate Novak from Henco Water Jet Supply. Gotta thank Dave Konjerski from Ski Graphics. I gotta thank Paul Peterson from Shark RC Bodies. I gotta thank my wife for letting me do this on a Sunday. I gotta thank everybody watching, my dad, mother-in-law, everybody watching from the bait shop. Thank you for the broadcast. I want to thank BnH Builders again for sponsoring the series, and Discount Shop Towels for sponsoring the late model series, and you for the broadcast, Roger.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and we look forward to seeing you in the late models.
Thanks, Roger.
Third place finisher, Andy Gross. We're not going to get a chance to chat with Mr. Zimmerman here because I do not have him in chat. Wish we had the opportunity. Would like to talk to the driver of the Zero car. So if you're listening out there, man, find that team speak and get over here so we can do this the next time you're on the podium, bud. Well, let's move on to tonight's winner. I don't know if he was setting them up or if he was counting on something to happen in front of him, but either way, the 41 machine comes home on top of the podium tonight. Ryan Fisher, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, a great finish, man. You're going to pick up a win here. We asked Andy about that crazy last couple of laps, that last restart, man. Tell us what was going on from the 41 car.
Yeah, Brett Behall got out there on the initial start and finally caught up to him, and then the caution came out, which was kind of a bummer, and we got a okay restart, didn't get a good one, and then that last restart, I got a really good restart. JJ kind of gave me a shove, so took the slider and just crossed them over. We were 3 wide there, and then I saw people go to the bottom. I just kept my foot in on the high side, and next thing I know, I was the only one coming out of that. So I don't know what happened, but sure was fun.
Well, you got a chance to go back and watch the broadcast. You'll see it was exciting for sure, but a fantastic run, man. You were talking about the different the different things that were going on there. Pretty much the entire race, you were chasing Brandon Hall, and you guys were breaking away from everybody. Were you just riding, waiting until we got down close to the end before you started trying to make a move on him?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he got out there, and I was trying to catch him, and then I saw everything kind of stack up behind us, and me pull away from the field a little bit, and I was pretty content with second at that point. And once I knew the cautions came out, that was going to be my best bet. Obviously, keep it clean, but be a little aggressive on the restarts, and he did a hell of a job getting good restarts and crossing over. I think me and him and JJ were 3 wide there for a little bit, but I kind of a bummer that those guys didn't make it to the end.
Well, still an awesome night for the 41 machine. Who is on the car helping you out before we let you get ready for your late model event?
I got to thank Pink Auto Solutions in Racine, Wisconsin, Carbon Digital for graphics, O-Snap Pickles, the Sobiak family, the Johnson family, my mom and dad, DR Karts, and Bomberic Racing.
All right, man. Well, good luck in the late models. Thanks for chatting with us, and congratulations on picking up the win tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a winner for the BnH Builders Street Stocks tonight. Ryan Fisher. Briar Zimmerman was second. Andy Gross third. Cole Duggar fourth. James Fletcher was fifth. David Konjerski comes home in sixth. Corey Funk in seventh. Randy Brunner eighth. Ninth to Jason Enoch. 10th, Tony Brent. Chris Johnson comes home 11th. Nick Sobiak 12th. Peter Brees in 13th. John Brunner was 14th. Tony Iskowski 15th. 16th to Skylar Wood. 17th, Dean Wallach. JJ Schilling in 18th. Had a chance to pick up the win and got the car out of shape. Ends up getting turned in turn 4, coming to the checks, and he goes from 1st to 18th. So I'm sure a disappointing finish for him. Brandon Hall in 19th. Zach Krieger 20th. 21st to Gary Budzine, and rounding out the field, the 11 car of Ricky Johnson. So that will do it for the BnH Builder Street Stocks. We will get ready to move on to the DiscountShopTales.com Pro Late Model Series. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. We're going to be off air for about 20 minutes. We will be back, set that all up, and get it going for you. Same track, a lot of the same drivers. And these guys will put on a whale of a show in those late models, just like they did here in the Street Stocks. For myself and Dominic Santina here at the Dirt Racing Network. Until we see you the next time.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
welcome back, race fans. The Dirt Racing Network's continuing coverage of the Hales Corners Speedway Sim Series. Pro Late Models back here at Lima Land. Show number 2 for the evening. DiscountShopTales.com Pro Late Model Series. Got about 4 minutes of practice time left. Joining me in the booth, as always, for the late model portion of the show, Zach Krieger. Zach, welcome in.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me again. It's good. This is going to be a very exciting race, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, smaller field than we saw in the street stocks, and I real quickly want to get to our points. Cole Duggar leading the points in this series as well. He was leading the street stocks going into tonight, 162 points, 5 points ahead of Reed Arundel, who is in Florida this week, so we'll be missing out on this one. Nick Sobiek, 3 points behind to that in third, and then David Kinjerski and Ryan Fisher rounding out that top 5. So those drivers going to be able to put Rundle in kind of behind the 8 ball for a couple of things here. Hello, Mr. Hoskins. And we'll have to see how drop weeks and everything else play out as the season goes on. But, skipping a race, it definitely means that your drop week is going to be a 0. So the rest of the season is going to have to be really good for Reed if he is going to try to pick up a championship here. Only got 15 cars, so going to be kind of a quick night for us. A lot of the same guys. I don't see anybody that wasn't in the street stocks in here for this one. So I think we kind of know what to expect from these drivers. We've been watching them for a while now, Zach, and not a whole lot has changed except for the actual car itself.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to have relative experience running with each other, but still, we are on week 3, but still this car, I think, is going to be a handful for some of these guys, especially at the shorter track like Lima Land. Of course, we've been to Knoxville, sort of a bigger, I would kind of classify it as a super speedway track of dirt racing. And Cedar Lake, of course, is nice enoghly banked that you can relatively stay off of people. I think this is going to be the real first short track that we come to, and I think we're definitely going to see some of that today.
Yeah, I think it'll be close quarters racing. It was in the street stocks as well, especially in the ladder going there, and we did see, some contact and some guys end up on the short end of those sticks. But, these cars, a little bigger bodies, a little heavier car, not quite as easy to get them, out of shape. But we will just have to wait and see how the night plays out. Right now, we are going to get ready to head down trackside for our pre-race ceremonies.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o' and the home of the brave.
All right, big thank you to the Foleys for our invocation and national anthem. Drivers on track currently for qualifying. A look at the 117 of Jim Butcher. Here, first timed lap on the clock right now for Mr. Butcher. Several cars already completing laps here. As you see, the pylons start to move around. Brunner and Gross 1-2 right now. Let's go watch Andy Gross as he comes through on his second lap.
Slight improvement for Gross.
Yeah, 12.93, but still slower than Brunner. So Randy Brunner now number one in qualifying, then Andy Gross. Cole Duggar third. Looks like we are only going to have 2 heat races, so we will see if Jason Enoch in the 66 car can do anything to shake up those top 2. His first time by 13.269 seconds. Only good enough for 12th quick out of 15. He will complete his qualifying session at 13.163 seconds. A slight improvement picks him up 1 spot. Position number 11 on the pylon. So all 15 cars have completed their qualifying. We know we will have 2 heat races. We know everyone is going to transfer to the feature. So we will have 3 racing events for you. Quick show tonight. Short track. These guys are going to get it done pretty fast here, I think.
Yeah, the thing though is it is going to actually be an extended feature tonight, 35 laps instead of the regular 25. I think that's partly due to it being a short track.
Yeah, on some of the shorter tracks, they do tend to add a few laps. Or if it's a special event, they will put on some laps. They did a 50-lap race last season, and still a good race. A lot of action in each one anyway, and these guys kind of getting familiar with one another. And, they had a whole season to do that, and now they're a whole lot of improvement I have seen since I started covering these guys, and it is fun to watch them get better and better each and every week.
Yeah, and it's fun to be on the track and be able to see a lot of these guys going, but then kind of nice to come up into the box and see it from a different point of view. I usually don't get to see the battle for the lead and stuff because I'm usually at back, so it's kind of nice to come and watch and be able to put my 2 cents in.
Yep. Quite a few fans watching. Guys, say hi in the chat. Don't be afraid to tell us where you're watching from. Like, share, and follow over on the Dirt Racing Network page on Facebook. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. We know each and every time we go live, we get plenty of viewers, but still like to grow our viewership. So if you'll help us out with that. Oh, my. About 10 seconds. Go ahead. Sorry.
Here we're going to have a sort of last-minute qualifier. James Fletcher.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Come in and put it in a 13.147, which will lift him up to 6th gridding for the first heat. It looks like we are indeed, though, going to have... No, it is still going to stay with 3 heats. Or 2 heats, sorry.
2 heats. Should be 8 in the first and 8 in the second. We'll get ready to get out here, run it through our Scrub-a-Dub Car War starting lineup on the pole for heat race number 1, the 28 of Tony Brent on his outside. Your winner from the street stock portion of the show, the Pincalo Auto Solutions number 41 of Ryan Fisher from Oak Creek, Wisconsin. A row 2 on the inside, the 011 car of Cole Duggar, and on his outside, the CJR Pride Toaster number 64 from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, Randy Brunner. Third row on the inside, John Brunner in the 46, and on the outside of him, you just saw him finish his qualifying ever at the 75 car of James Fletcher. And on to the back row on the inside, the 117 of Jim Butcher, and on his outside, the Black Flag Racing number 110 from West Dallas, Wisconsin, Tony Itzkowski. So 8 cars, everybody making the transfer. Nobody going to be left out of the late model portion of the show. These guys really just racing for their starting position in tonight's 35-lap feature.
Yeah, indeed we are. But we will see a B main as only 5 people go through the heats, and we have, I think, 8 cars on track for this one and 9 cars on track for the second heat. It'll be interesting to see, but the pace truck takes his turn into the pit lane. We are going to go green it already.
Randy Brunner. Randy Brunner, and he is going to get it spun around facing the right way, but he is way behind the field. Tony Brent going to grab the lead out of turn 2. He'll lead lap number 1 with Cole Duggar, Ryan Fisher, and John Brunner in the top 4 right there, working a lap 2 down the backstretch.
I think that was just sort of a case of the 2 guys just sort of getting together on that start. Of course, maybe one of them hit the gas a little too early, who knows, but that's definitely not what Brunner was wanting to see, as he'll have to try, potentially, unless he can get those spots back, he's going to have to go through the B main.
Just going to start deep in our feature. Cole Duggar took the lead away from Tony Brent right there, and now Ryan Fisher going to go by on the inside, heading down into turns 3 and 4. Fisher had to keep the car kind of pinned down. Wasn't sure where that 28 machine was. He is going to fall back to third, and Brent used the high line, a lot of momentum. These 3 racing right on top of one another, as we're going to get the halfway point in heat race number 1.
Duggar doing well to stay out in front, but he does have challenge still from Tony Brent and Ryan Fisher, as they're going to go side by side. Maybe a little contact, couldn't see myself right away, as Ryan Fisher going to be on that. Brent was a little too high. I think he hits the wall out of 3, and that's going to mean Ryan Fisher to P2 as they head on out of 3 and 4. They're going to head on the front stretch. It seems as if Brent might have a run here on the bottom.
Yeah, Ryan Fisher third. Jim Butcher was running 4th, and now John Brunner has gotten the 46 car into 5th. Randy Brunner has recovered and passed a couple of cars here to move himself into 6th. Then it's Ichkowski and Fletcher 7 and 8, but right now Cole Duggar streaking away from these guys. He is inside 2 laps to go, and he's got about 10 or 12 car lengths going into 3 and 4. The white flag is in the air. Final time for heat race number 1.
As everybody has started to sort of even out a little bit. A little fighting here in front of the leaders, but I don't think that's going to matter. Cole Duggar will come home to the checkered flag and take his win in heat 1.
And then Brent Fletcher, Jim Butcher, and John Brunner. And then Randy Brunner recovers to 6th. Ichkowski and Fletcher battling 7th and 8th. And Fletcher will finish 8th with Ichkowski 7th. So one of the 2 heat races already in the books. We'll get ready for heat number 2. Get down here to our Scribbledub Car Wash starting lineup on the pole. The Shark RC Car Bodies number 112. From Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, it's Chris Johnson. And on his outside in the ROV Faster Motors VLR number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiak. Second row on the inside, the Scribbledub Car Wash Black Flag Racing number 74 from Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Reese. And on the outside of him in the Shark RC Bodies Gross Racing number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, the King of Restarts, Andy Gross. Third row inside, GB Restoration and Repair number 77 from East Troy, Wisconsin of Gary Budzine. On his outside, Jason Enoch in the 66. In your fourth row, Dean Wellick, the 126 inside, Colin Skinzalewski in the 5 car on the outside, and starting shotgun on the field, the 18 car of Skylar Woods.
As these guys starting to make their way down the back, pace truck will pull off here. They all start to bunch up a bit. A little touching in the back, but we're going to be green flag for heat 2. And that 23 on the top, Nickback had a good jump. There's going to be contact farther back in the pack. 2 go around. We're still going to have a 6-car battle here up at the front.
Sobiak will lead a lap 1 with Johnson second. Then Brees in third, and Andy Gross, a 14 car, is going to be coming through there in the 4th spot. Contact with the back of Brees. Now Gross around. Going to get the car righted. We're going to stay green. No cautions in the heat races. Enoch got around Gross into the 4th spot.
contact there. That is not what
that's not what they wanted for sure.
wanted to see.
But hey, you're going to start the feature, so it's just a matter of making sure that the car is good for the feature tonight. I want to quickly say hi to Kevin up in Cape Cod. Thanks for letting us know where you're watching from. But we are completing lap number 4 with Nick Sobiek in front of Chris Johnson, and not by much until they came out of 2 and Johnson got sideways. That was about 2 car lengths. Now it's about 10. Bud Zine, good run for the 77 here in 3rd. Peter Brees and Andy Gross 4th and 5th. Jason Enoch in 6th. Skinzalewski loses the car out of 2, and he got hammered by Skylar Wood. Then Dean Wallach is going to come through and go around, but he is right in front of your leaders here. They still got 4 laps to go, and this has been the most exciting heat race of the entire night.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. As Sobiek hits one of the little tires on the bottom of the track, maybe a little bit got a little loose. He was able to save it as they maneuver their way around Dean Wallach, the lap car. He's going to be a little twitchy. He's going to hold up Johnson there just a bit. And that's really going to help Nick Sobiek, as now the fight for a second is on between Johnson and Bud Zine.
Yeah, the lap car really making himself wide in front of second place. White flag is in the air. This is Sobiek's race to lose here. He is a straightaway ahead of everyone. He's going to come out of turn 4, pick up the checkers. Johnson finally got around Wallach there. He'll come home second, then Bud Zine, Brees, Gross in 5th, Enoch. And then Wallach will finish in the 7th. Skinzalewski and Woods both off track. And a little extracurricular activity. Everybody having a little bit of fun right here, I think. So I think we're going to run a B main just because we can.
Why not?
Why not?
They paid for the track. They're going to use it.
Yeah, might as well. Plus, they can use the laps to really slick this thing out a little bit. So we will look at our starting grid for the B main. These guys racing just for starting position. Skinzalewski will start on pole with James Fletcher to the outside. Then Wallach and Itzkowski in a row 2. Row 3, Enoch and Randy Brunner. And Skylar Woods will be starting on the back. So it should be 7 cars, all 7, straight to the feature. No one left out. Should be 10 laps. We will wait till they run around, catch the green flag. We'll know for sure. I did not look before we came in. I saw so few cars, I didn't think we would have a V main. But it is going to be a fun race to watch. Nonetheless, always is with these guys. So we'll know who's going to start in the last 4 rows of the feature tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are going to be looking to get these high up positions. A lot of big names in this race. Guys like, Councilman Zalewski, of course, James Fletcher, a lot of guys who sometimes are front runners, kind of maybe not get the short end of the stick here.
Now, a lot of guys that are used to just already being in a position to be in the A main more than probably anything right there. But these guys are going to have to fight a little bit now just for a little bit closer to the front starting positions. So Skinzalewski and Fletcher will bring us to the green here out of turn 4. Should be 10 laps on the docket.
Green flag, green flag.
Green.
12 laps for these guys. And I saw Fletcher a little out of shape there. And he has still got that car a little too far sideways in the wrong places. Hopefully that thing doesn't get away from him out in front of these guys. Big pileup back there. Brunner once again. Randy Brunner. Not having a fun night tonight in that 64 machine. Let's go look at the end of this first lap real quick. Quick rewind here. He is going to go in 2, 3, and 4. Contact is going to happen with he and Enoch. And Wallach was pretty much standing on the binders right there. Not much that Brunner can do. Now Brunner's having to deal with that 126 car once again. They are going to make more contact down in turns 3 and 4. As we are starting lap number 4 of 12.
Meanwhile, we're looking at that replay. Oh, and the leader crashes. Spins Zalewski hard into the wall. He collects Tony Ichkowski, and that is going to allow the 66 of Jason Enoch to get about a second lead over the rest of the pack.
And let's watch here. He's coming out of 2. Got the car sideways and then turns the nose head on into the wall. Ichkowski whacks him as he goes by. Ichkowski, I think, is going to be able to continue. He's going to lose a lot of spots there, but he is still going to be able to run as the entire front end gone off of the 5 car, and that car just way out of shape. But Enoch grabbed the lead. He is going to hang on right here. He has got a pretty good gap between himself and James Fletcher. And Fletcher now
that's gonna help
right on the nose of the 64. And here comes 2 more cars piling into this. This is a demolition derby in our B main. Skinzalewski to the infield. Ichkowski backwards up in turns 3 and 4, and he's trying to get that car off. Oh, there he goes. I'm sorry, he was nosed into the fence from the long angle here. Didn't look good, but that car parked. Now rolling right in behind Mr. Fletcher, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's getting very, very tight here. A lot of damage to a lot of cars, but Enoch is going to come out of 3 and 4 and see the 2 to go signal from our starter. Skylar Woods from a 7th place start tonight in the B main all the way up to 2nd. Then it's Fletcher, Wallach, Ichkowski, and Brunner and Skinzalewski are already in the infield getting the cars ready for the A main. But Jason Enoch already under the white flag. It looks like he will cruise to an easy B main win tonight. This thing got exciting and crazy, and now I'm wondering how our feature is going to be.
Exactly what I was thinking. It's gonna be interesting to say the least. A lot of these guys, they're going to be trying to push at each other, try to get as much out of the track as they can. It'll be interesting.
Hello, Mr. Evans. I see you there in the chat over on the YouTube. We are going to put 17 cars out here into our feature race. And they're going to line up with Skylar Woods. Wasn't Skylar Woods just in the B main? That's a big invert. Yeah. Skylar Woods on the pole. Jason Enoch, both coming out of the B main, will start on your front row tonight. Then it'll be Andy Gross and John Brunner in row number 2. Peter Brees and Jim Butcher in row 3. Row 4, Gary Budzine and Ryan Fisher. Your 5th row, Chris Johnson and Tony Brent. Row 6, Nick Sobiek and Cole Duggar. The 7th row, James Fletcher and Dean Wallach. The 8th row, Tony Ichkowski and Randy Brunner. And on the back, Colin Skinzalewski in the 5 car. So 17 cars. Should it be an exciting 35 laps, and with the 14 car starting as close to the front as he is, I'm going to go out on a very, very thick limb here and say that the 14 is in good position to pick up a win tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. He is Andy Gross is in a prime position on that 2nd row, of course. Enoch, of course, very fast. Same thing with a lot of these guys, but I think you got to look at that 2nd, maybe even 3rd row. You got guys like Andy Gross, Peter Brees, Nick Sobiak. A lot of the faster guys starting a little bit farther back due to the invert. I think we're going to see some good stuff from those guys.
Be interesting to see who can come up here and put a challenge at the front. I just think you put that 14 car that close to the front, he can sniff the lead that early. If this thing doesn't stay under the yellow flag, he's got a pretty good chance to run away and hide from these guys tonight.
Yep, as the cars will make their way onto the front stretch through 3 and 4. We will be green in the discount shop towels, Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing late model session.
Skylar Woods trying to take the lead, but here comes Gross out of 4 at the line. It's going to be Gross by about 1.25 inches. And he'll have the lead out of 2 on a lap 2, with Woods falling into 2nd. Then Enoch, Brees, and Budzine your top 5. 3 wide out of 2 for 2nd place. And Woods, wow, Woods crunched the wall there in 1 and 2. And I don't know if that was a product of the 3 wide or if he just overdrove the car in entry, but Andy Gross really trying to put some distance between himself and the rest of this field right now.
Jason Enoch, though, is able to kind of keep that small little gap as we got some guys sort of going a little higher up into 3. A caution comes out for the first time tonight on lap 4.
Skinzalewski's car already to the infield here, and I don't know if he was the caution. He could have been, because it said the leaders weren't that far behind, and he is sideways here. Backs the car down right at the entry, and there went your leader. So that is what will trigger the caution, as the 5 machine bringing that out for a self-spin down the backstretch.
And one thing, sort of talking about it with Skylar Woods going high up in turn 2. Going high in turn 2 is very dangerous because of that pit out sort of wall. It can really bite you, and I've learned that the hard way a few times.
Well, that track tightens up right there, coming through that area, and you'll go from riding against the wall to being in the wall just because that bumps in just a bit. But we're ready to go green again. Gross and Enoch on the front row, and Andy Gross once again with a great restart. He let Peter Brees have an advantage on Enoch when Enoch was asleep out there. And Brees goes through second. They're 3 wide behind that. Big crash here towards the back. We will go and take a look, and we will see what happened. Everybody was trying to bunch up here. This thing got restarted. And they went down into 1 and 2. Brunner got turned and got hit by the other Brunner, and then Wallach is in it. The 75 car of James Fletcher, all of them in this incident.
It looked like it was maybe a little domino effect going up into turn 1. Skylar Woods sort of kind of got a little out of shape, and a lot of these guys had to sort of stack up and almost try to avoid it, and I think that was just more of a domino effect than anything.
Well, the guy's trying to get doubled up here. Lights went off on the pace truck. Oh, car's getting jacked up. Woods got under Enoch again. And that's on pace, but they'll get them squared away. Front 3 rows pretty tight right here. Restart, lap 6. Gross on the throttle. Good restart for him. Peter Brees going to quickly slide into that second spot. Enoch
3 wide farther back.
Sheesh. Enoch got to the inside. They were 3 wide behind it. Budzine rockets away from that. Now it's Johnson on the inside with Fisher up top behind Enoch and Budzine. They're staying 2 wide even further back there. Skylar Wood once again, that 18 car. Backwards and sideways back here. He had trouble out of 2. He was really still trying to get the car straightened up going into 3 and 4. When they went down the front stretch into 1 and 2, he tried to go top shelf, and Sobiak had too big a run, got up underneath the back of him. 360-degree spin, so he's going to be able to keep going, but he wrestled that car for an entire lap and ended up being the car on the short end of the stick when the whole thing was over.
Yeah. And one thing that I've noticed from these restarts is they are currently, if I'm correct, they are double file restarts. When we were in the street stocks, I think due to maybe the volume of cars that we had, they were only single file. So these guys have had to go through both single file and double file restarts. Wonder how much of a fact that would play as they are going to head down the backstretch. They will double up, and I think the pace truck will pull off. Andy Gross will lead them back to the green. Gross goes. There's the green. Everybody heads off in the turn 1. Relatively clean so far. Everybody gonna keep some touching going on back in the pack, and that's gonna bring out another caution.
75 of James Fletcher once again backwards.
I think that was Brunner potentially.
And I don't think that the 75 car is really doing a whole lot here. He has ended up in some positions where things are just happening around and to him, and Brunner got up underneath the left rear corner and under caution once again. So they may end up making these guys go to single file here, because that's a lot of cautions in a short period of time.
Yep, and notes from Race Kroll, restarts will now be single file, so playing into the pocket of Andy Gross will be even more.
It'll be an even bigger advantage for him.
Yeah.
So Gross, Brees, Enoch, Budzine, and Chris Johnson are the top 5 as we get ready to go back to green. Still 27 laps remain in this one.
As they're going to head through turn 2. There goes Gross in a big gap already. Brees was caught sleeping, and Enoch gets close to it, but he's going to keep it straight, and there's going to be a fight here for second place. As there's a little tapping. Brees able to save it. Enoch got into the back of him. See what will happen here down the back stretch.
Still Gross with a pretty healthy lead right now. Battles for second. Brees has it. Enoch wants it. He can't get there. Behind that, Gary Budzine hanging on to 4th. With Chris Johnson in 5th. And then side by side, Ryan Fisher and Tony Brent 6th and 7th right here. Brent had the position for just a moment, but Ryan Fisher in that 41 car had a good run out of 2, and he's going to take the spot back, at least at the line this time, by about a nose. That's Sobiak in 8th, Duggar up to 9th, and Dean Wallach finding his way into the top 10 right now. But it is all Andy Gross, as he's already in lap traffic. He is caught up to the 46 of John Brunner, the 75 of James Fletcher, and he is going to have to tiptoe his way through this lap traffic as we've completed 13 laps now.
This is going to get tight here as they're going to go a little bit 3 wide. Gross threads the needle through the middle, and that's going to mess up Brees as I want to say that was the 46 of John Brunner got out of shape.
Sobiak is in the infield right now, so let's go see what happened to Nick here. He was battling for about 5th or 6th, slid the car in really, really deep, and he ends up parking it right there at the entrance to pit road. Caught them cones, and I think that's just enough to trigger our caution period.
Yeah, Nick Sobiak. Not only did he get involved in that incident, he also, I find this kind of funny, got a black flag by iRacing for an unsafe entry into the pit lane.
Oh, yeah, that'll relegate him to the very, very back. And he's going to be a lap down, so he has got a lot of work. At him, Brunner, Sobiak, and Fletcher all lap down. Skinzalewski off track.
Just got to say, Sobiak has had his black flag cleared for that incident.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Pace truck is in. Andy Gross ready to jump on the throttle. Does so in front of Peter Brees. Big advantage being single file and getting that restart when you're Andy Gross. He's got about 5-6 car lengths down the back stretch over Brees in second. Enoch all over Brees. Now Gary Budzine up to 4th as Brent is trying to challenge Chris Johnson for the 5th spot. That's not going to work out. And caution. 41 of Ryan Fisher not maybe in this. I think Sobiak once again in this. So we'll go watch. He's in there. He and Fletcher with a tiny bit of contact out of 2. Down in. Oh, that happened in front of him. Wallach and Ichkowski got into each other, I think, in front of all that.
Yeah. That's
so
sort of
we're
just
watching the wrong car here.
Yeah. That incident sort of just caught Nick Sobiak off guard.
Well, no, Ichkowski got into whatever was going on between Brunner and Wallach. So that whole thing kind of started in front of Sobiak. It didn't help him out a bit, though. It looks like Randy Brunner, the 64 car, going to be off track. So we will have 15 cars remaining. 3 of those cars not on the lead lap. Your top 10, 11th and 12th. All still racing for positions here.
Also, I'm pretty sure lights off on the pace truck this lap. We will be going green as I enter 3 and 4. Andy Gross up on that wall. Peter Brees on him, though.
Green flag, green flag.
Gross got a jump. I think Brees, a little better restart than he has had the past few times. Enoch not able to get to Brees. And actually, here comes Peter Brees. Had a good run out of 2 and 3. He might have a good run here out of 3 and 4. He doesn't because he does touch the tire. So your top 3 3 will stay the exact same for the back, though. 4th place, Chris Johnson has moved up.
Johnson got around Budzine, and now Duggar trying to do the same. He's going to put the rear end in front of the nose of the 77, take over 5th. Budzine's back to 6th, then Brent in 7th. Butcher, Ichkowski, and Ryan Fisher now making a recovery after an early spin. We're a little past halfway, coming down to about 16 to go right here. And Fisher cracking back in the top 10. He's working on the 10 of Ichkowski. But Andy Gross starting to get away from Brees. Brees got a little sideways in 3 and 4. No big deal there. He just lost some more ground to the 14, but he's staying in front of the 66 of Enoch. 21 of 35 complete this time for Andy Gross.
All right, man.
Caution comes out. That's going to be the 64 for 46 around in turn 1.
Oh, yeah. John Brunner this time. He was by himself, I think. Yeah, he's by himself, and nobody really. Oh, yep. No. Skylar Wood got the car out of shape, got him turned around, and he was just still on track when he spun that thing around. And the leaders were coming, so another caution for us. Not much changing here. Gross, Brees, Enoch, Johnson, Duggar, Budzine, Brent, Ichkowski, Butcher, and Fisher. Still the top 10. Skylar Woods, 1 lap down. Dean Wallach, 6. He is off track. He and Nick Sobiek maybe together.
Yep,
so
pretty
still,
sure they are.
So 12 cars on the track, all 12 on the lead lap. 46 of Brunner back there. The last car in line, as you see, the 23 of Nick Sobiek. 7 laps down, coming back out onto the track. He will line up at the back, I think.
Yeah.
As we'll have 13 to go this time when we go back to green.
Well, the good thing for Sobiak is when we do go back green, he should be able to take 14th, because he will pass Dean Wellick and Randy Brenner, who both are in the pits. Green flag is out here, though.
Gross got another good start. Brees falling asleep just a little bit. Gave him about 5 car lanes. Jason Enoch in 2.
Here comes Enoch.
The 3rd position, and he would try to put a little pressure there. I don't know if he was just trying to get close enough or if he was trying to let Brees know, hey, you know what, I can lift the rear end of this thing up for you anytime. But he's going to hang on to 3rd. Chris Johnson, Cole Duggar, and Gary Budzine in the top 6. Pretty much a single file line right there from 4th on back. Gross trying to get away from these guys. He'll be down to 10 to go this time by.
As Enoch still pressuring Brees as they do cross the line. 10 to go here. Everybody has started to keep it a little calm now, as we do see here. There's going to be a fight actually for the 4th position. I think Duggar trying to get past Johnson here with Budzine, potentially also trying to throw his nose in on Duggar.
Yeah, Duggar had a good run going down into 3 and 4, and Johnson was already there, so he had to check up. Johnson's car just not looking very strong on the exit of the corner, and Duggar finding grip. Now moves up a couple of lines here, trying to get a little more momentum, and he's going to find a way to get around. Out of turn 4, Cole Duggar moves into 4th, move Johnson to 5th. But Andy Gross now entering turn 3. Peter Brees about a half a straightaway behind. We're going to get down to 6 to go. Jason Enoch hanging on to 3rd, but Cole Duggar is closing.
And we gotta wonder, does Duggar have enough for Enoch? Of course, Cole Duggar, who wins this season, if I'm correct, or at least 2 podiums. So he is really looking to keep that streak alive, as he is right there on Enoch. It seems as if Duggar just gets a little better exits out of the corners than everybody else does.
He's finding that exit speed as he's getting the car set in the middle of the turns and able to get some throttle to it. That time out of 2, not so much I heard an engine let go on the front stretch. But we are down to 3 to go for Andy Gross. He is already down the back stretch, coming up on lap traffic here, the 46 car of John Brunner once again. We'll go back and watch Enoch and Duggar. They're inside, 2 laps to go this time. That is the battle for the final podium spot. Duggar trying to keep the string of podiums alive Go 3 for 3, and he's got the outside this time on Enoch with a white flag in the air. Andy Gross is going to win your feature tonight. DiscountShopTales.com Pro Late Model Series. Peter Brees going to come home second, and Cole Duggar
got it.
gets around Enoch, and he will finish on the podium. So good run at the end for the 11 car. But Andy Gross, 2 podiums for the evening, and I called it at the start. Just can't get that car that close to the front and leave it there. He is going to find a way to go up there and pick off a win. Duggar coming around. He's going to park over here beside Reese, and Gross going to try to get the 14 car spun around so we can. Ooh, that almost got kind of ugly.
And this is sort of redemption for Andy Gross, of course. Of course, our current reigning champion has not had the best of times recently in the first race at Cedar Lake and the second race at Knoxville, but this is especially what he wants to see now, getting those wins.
All right, let's get to it. Cole Duggar, are you there?
I got you.
Well, a great finish there. You come around the last couple of laps and picked Enoch off on the top side to get on the podium, man. Tell us a little bit about your feature run tonight.
Yeah, that was pretty intense there with getting around Chris Johnson and then getting around Enoch there for sure. I tried going on the bottom a few times and couldn't get it done, and then ultimately just had to keep the nose real tight on the high side and keep them down and get around them.
Yeah, it looked like track transitioned quite a bit. Started off, you guys had grip pretty much anywhere, and towards the end, you guys were all searching. Where'd you find the most?
I expected a top or bottom to come in, but it actually come on right in the middle, surprisingly.
Well, fantastic run. You're up on the podium again. Who's on the car helping you out before we let you get out of here?
Team Outlaw Motorsports, Ultimate Dirt TV, Beard Oil, Raging Cajun Graphics, LSR TV, Brent Bates, and appreciate you guys for the broadcast. And top 3, I'll take it. If I can talk to you guys every week, that's what I need to do.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Third place finisher, Cole Duggar. Let's grab Mr. Peter Brees up here. Hey, Peter Rabbit, are you there?
I got you, Roger.
We hopped around the bunny trail tonight and come home with a second, man. How was your race there in the feature?
It was a lot of fun running up there. I had a lot of restarts, so obviously it was hard to keep up with the king of restarts there, but it was a fun race. I got a little slick at the end and just tried to stick with it the best I could.
Yeah, we talked to Cole and talked about the transitions that the track made, and trying to keep up with Andy is one thing, but trying to keep up with Andy when you're looking for grip is a totally different story. Where were you able to find anything to try to hang with that 14 car?
It was real tough. He had a spot where he was running. It would almost look like he's running in the slick a little bit, and he's getting off the corner real nice. I tried to stick a little bit farther down low and then kind of run a slider line here and there. And I mean, he wasn't pulling away from me too fast, but I still couldn't catch him.
Well, either way, a great run. The 74 car looking strong this season. Who's on it, helping you out, making you better each and every week?
We got
Peter.
I got you.
You're back now. You're back.
Yep. Got a Scrub It Up oil change and car wash. DiscountShopTowels.com. I got to thank Luke over there for that. And then P1 Slot Cars and Josh Toussaint over there.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congratulations on a great run. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Roger.
Peter Brace, your second place finisher. And this guy spends a lot of time up here in the booth chatting with me just about on a weekly basis. The guy drives the 14 car. Andy Gross, are you there?
I got you, Roger.
Well, I called it at the beginning. You started way too close to the front for anybody to really give you a huge challenge. We knew you were going to take the 14 car and sniff the lead early. You did so. You come home with the win. Tell us about your feature race, man.
Yeah, this one's quite special. Haven't been feeling the greatest for the last few days. And, just had enough energy to get on the sim and turn some laps tonight. And this one's pretty special. just there's a lot of cautions, and try to get that good restart and stay clear of the lap cars tonight.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to ask you. A couple of times there you got into lap traffic, and it didn't look like they were making it easy on you. You had a pretty good gap. Did you know how big your gap was, and were you able to tiptoe around those guys a little bit?
Yeah, I really tiptoed around them, to put it lightly. Yeah, just try to not bang any doors with them and not make any mistakes and get myself in a position that could jeopardize the win tonight.
Well, a fantastic run. Top of the podium, picking up the win. Who's on the car helping you out before we let you get out of here and celebrate?
Yeah, it's nice to finally get that win and get the monkey off the back. And got to thank Brian and Heather Hamer from BnH Builders. Got to thank Nate Novak from Henco Water Jet Supply. Got to thank Dave Kajerski at Ski Graphics, Paul Peterson at Shark RC Bodies, my wife, my boy Parker, my dad, everybody from James E-Bait Raceway that's watching tonight and supporting me, my mother-in-law, and got to thank Discount Shop Towels for the sponsorship and BnH Builders for the sponsorship for the series, and you for the broadcast, and I really appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and we look forward to seeing you back in action in the street stocks and the late models next week.
Thanks, Roger. Have a good night.
Andy Gross, your winner. Let's run down the final results. Brees was second, Duggar third, Enoch comes home in fourth, Chris Johnson fifth, Gary Budzine was sixth, Tony Brandt in seventh, eighth to Ryan Fisher, ninth, Jim Butcher, 10. That was Tony Itzkowski. Brings the 10 car home in the 10th position tonight. James Fletcher was 11th. John Brunner in the 46 was 12th. Nick Sobieski, 13th. Skyler Woods, 14th. Randy Brunner, the 64 car, was 15th. 16th to Dean Wallach. And Colin Skinzalewski rounded out the field in 17th. Another week in the books. Mr. Krieger, final thoughts?
It was pretty much what I was looking for. A short track, a lot of cautions that, I mean, they're definitely going to be there in any race. Even the pro guys, that'll happen to them here and there, but I think it's going to be a good chance for when we go to track like potentially Kokomo or Fairbury, because those tracks are sort of tighter, smaller, so it was a good learning curve, I'd say.
Well, been a fun one this week. Look forward to being back here next week and getting you back in the booth with us for the late models. Appreciate you being here. To all the fans, thanks for tuning in. Guys, don't forget, like, share, follows, and subscribe over on YouTube and Twitch. Tomorrow night, Dominic Santina, 8 o'clock Eastern, Dirt Slingers Racing League 360 Wing Sprint Cars Monday Night Thunder from Weed Sport. Tune in for that, and then immediately following them, we'll have the Tim Sims General Tires Winter Nationals round number 6 from Eldora Speedway. Don't miss that as well. But for myself, Zach, and Dom here at the Dirt Racing Network, till we see you the next time, guys, keep it dirty.